All right, afternoon, gentlemen and gentlemen. My name is Yipta Anmei, and this is my presentation on my Wacky project. The overall goal for this project was to make model and get a car into Unreal, have it play around a bit. I haven't really gone to the Unreal part, but we're getting there. Please ignore that it says Unreal 4, but of course text has pointed out. So for my idea generation, I didn't really do much idea generation in this project, honestly. I just had an idea and just went with it. Midway through, because all I had at the start was just armored vehicle. Midway through, people gave me the idea of like a candy-based vehicle, and so it just evolved from there. So for my research, I actually feel a bit proud of the research here. It's actually relevant. I've done like a small study on what makes something look wacky, what makes it cartoonish. Also looking into some design models that people have made for candy-like cars, and also by the will of the gods, I found the exact model of the car that I was going to try and model base this off of. So that was lucky. It was a 1940, 1914 armored Rolls Royce.
Move on, sorry.
Yeah, that's it. For modeling, there's some things I would change. Honestly, there's a lot I would change. While I am happy with what I have, I'm still a lot I believe I could improve upon, like adding a high poly version so I can make a normal map for it. I don't really have any supporting edge loops if in case I wanted to use subdivisions. And honestly, when modeling this thing, there are a lot of inconsistencies. Like I had some conflicting polygons, which you wouldn't notice at first. And it's like hidden, but like still I should have those. And honestly, I could have used a few more screenshots. I really should be recording the actual screen as I'm modeling, but I didn't do that. Pretty much stuff I started doing in my next project. Texturing. I didn't do any texturing. It hasn't happened yet. I'm getting to it, okay? As for my character design, I decided to actually draw something with one of the digital pads. I was given the idea by a very, very useful individual about designing it after Hansel and Gretel. Thank you. I didn't have time to do both. Well, I don't think I have time to do both. If I have time at the end of the project to draw another one, I will. But so far, I've just got one character, and that's pretty much it. Nothing too in depth on it. It didn't really add too much time.
Who is?
Oh, it's based off a fairy tale where two characters go wandering around in the woods, find a cabin made of candy, and decide to just chow down.
Okay.
It doesn't end well for them. Ignore that it says 4, okay, please. Couldn't find anything else at the time. I was rushing. So Unreal was a pain, as I'm sure a lot of you have already experienced yourselves. I don't have any recordings of any of the numerous bugs I've encountered. One of the funniest being just spawning in, part just goes flying immediately. If anyone experienced that, please explain to me how that happens. But overall, I still think I learned plenty. I've never actually used physics myself in Unreal, and so I've seen like a bunch of tick boxes that are useful, a bunch of different mechanics which are actually built in. It's actually surprisingly interesting, though. Honestly, looking at the project, I wouldn't actually use the physics, because honestly, with physics, it's meant to be realistic, and so it's a wacky racist. It's meant to be cartoonish and unrealistic. I feel like that kind of went in the opposite direction, but still, it's full of learning. Next, please. Challenges. There are a lot, mainly with physics, as you can guess, in words I can't say. But honestly, with modeling, it wasn't really as good as like some of my other models, in my opinion. Mainly because, yeah, I had a lot of inconsistencies with the actual mesh, and frankly, it does look very plain and two-dimensional, in my opinion. A lot of sharp edges and Honestly, I don't have any smoothing groups for it. Still need to actually do the texturing as well, and also add mechanics in Unreal 5. So overall, I'm not too displeased with it. There's a lot of things I would change, I would go back to actually do. But overall, I think my main issue would be time management, and still a little bit of distracting. I partially blame B3. I might move over there just to see what it's like, see if it's any better. Honestly, I'm not too unhappy with it. That being said, any questions? Anyone other than Harry?
Alright.
So you said that you're gonna have ability. You know what you're gonna have?
Well, there is a turret mounted on the model of the car, so I don't know if those will count as an ability, but it's something that the car can do, where it shoots out candy corns. I was thinking about having this actually be a two-player thing, one for a gunner, one for a driver. I thought that would add like an interesting wackiness sort of controls. But as for actual power-ups and abilities, my first thought was like a sticky toffee that you can spill on the floor, like slow your enemies down. Or that's pretty much it. I don't have any other ideas. Charlie.
In terms of your character, what would you say is cartoony? Is there anything in particular that you were going for a vibe with your character? Like a cartoon way, or
Not necessarily, to be honest. I didn't put as much like effort and detail into my character as I did yours. It's mainly just like honestly to just get out of the way. Not really very good at character design though. Looking back, I probably could have added a lot more detail. There's some things I could have probably improved upon, which I did actually list a few.
What actual textures would you put on your car?
Well, my first
Make
thought
it more
was
candy-like.
yeah. My first thought was like the wheels. They could be like either Oreo style or like a first like peppermints, like the red and yellow. If you had a red and white, the main base was actually going to be like a what's it called Dubai chocolate, where it's like pistachio, so it's green chocolate. That still matches like the army theme, but still candy version. And for you can only see at the back, but like I have like a barrel and some mines in the back. I was going to like try and make them a bit more candy themed. I couldn't really find any candy that like really resembled a mine, so I was probably gonna have to make up something for that.
I've just got one more question. I saw a very good transition, and I'm curious how you did that on PowerPoint. Which one was it? This one. How did you do that?
For this, I actually did use like a tutorial. I kind of wish I referenced the tutorial at the end of the video, I won't lie. But basically, you can import a 3D model into PowerPoint. I tried to do it as an FBX. It says it can do it as an FBX. It doesn't want to do it as an FBX. So I had to re-export my model as a GBL, it is. That actually worked, thankfully. And once you have that in, you can move it around as if it's a 3D space with like a little arrows in the middle. Once you get it to the starting position, you have to go into Transitions tab, and you'll find a transition called, I think Morph. I think it's called Morph. It's like a box, and as you see like faded out boxes going in a direction, whatever, something like that. And then if you have the exact same model and then move it into the second location, when it goes into transitions, it will automatically do this whole magic stuff for you. Of course, if any of you are interested, I can link the video that I used for it into Teams.
Any more questions about the project? Okay, thanks very much. A round of applause, please.